Signs of heart disease, unfortunately, are quite late. They are not early signs of heart disease. Because the signs of heart disease would happen actually when the blockages in the arteries of the heart have reached more than 70%. You may have breathlessness on exertion, chest heaviness on exertion, or radiating to arms, but it happens when you walk, and when you rest, it becomes all right. The other thing is even palpitations, fast palpitations or fainting or dizziness. All these could be signs of heart disease, but unfortunately they happen to be too late when the blockages have already reached to beyond 70%. So we should not wait for those signs and symptoms to happen. What are the early indicators? Yes, if you are turning obese, you are having intolerance to exercise, you are finding fatigability or breathlessness, that means you are heading towards development of blockages and you should get yourself evaluated and corrected. If you belong to a family of young heart disease patients or early diabetes, if you have diabetes or if you are noted to be having hypertension or you are turning obese, at that time, you should definitely touch base with a cardiologist. Being Indian already gives you almost 3 times higher risk of having heart disease as compared to Western population. Today, the science is advanced enough to even detect those 50%, as I said, who are vulnerable to develop heart disease if you belong to a family history of young heart disease persons. So not all of them would have high vulnerability because the genes also sometimes dilute themselves. But we have new developments in the form of genetic testings, which actually can be done in people who belong to such families and detect if that person is vulnerable and carrying the same genes as their parents and they are vulnerable to develop heart disease. These people actually should rectify their lifestyle much more stringently and maybe start medications much earlier in life so that their risk to development of heart disease is mitigated and they are going to live healthy life for a long time to come. So if we can have this 5-point program which we inculcate early in life, as early in life as possible whenever we are aware of it, we can actually limit the chance of heart disease. The first and foremost is that we should find excuses to exercise. That is important. The second one is that we should focus on healthy nutrition rather than tasty diet, which is important to be inculcated again in our lifestyle. Third thing, there is no space to tobacco or smoking in our life, or even the drugs. Those things have to be absolutely banned from our life. Fourth thing is we should actually find time to do yoga or meditation or have some kind of relaxation. Make sure that we have a proper sleep because this is going to be a stress buster for us and we can be more effective in performance of our day-to-day activities. Last but not the least, we should be aware of those silent killers in the form of hypertension, diabetes or high cholesterol, which we should test time to time. Specifically, if we are vulnerable, belonging to a vulnerable family, we should test them as early as 25 to 30 years. And a proper assessment of your risk can actually predict how stringently you have to look at the lifestyle measures.